The man has arrived.
And the WWE Universe is on their feet.
The following is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Dublin, Ireland, the man, Becky Lynch.
A woman who has devoted her career to elevating the women's division. Arguably the hardest working competitor in the women's division.
And she's also a leader, and she's a trailblazer. Became the first women's double champion when she beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but every once in a while, that much confidence can be detrimental, especially when you're a target. Everyone wants to make a name off of the man.
Hey, we soon gonna talk about Becky Lynch, who recently did an interview talking about how she's not gonna wrestle anytime soon. We gonna talk more about it. Let's check it out. The Locker Room Toxic Ring Scandal, aka KDH.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody.
Hey, guys, we're here at Toxic Ring Scandal, aka KDH, Turnbuckle King here. At the Locker Room, we will talk about will Becky Lynch return to WWE after WrestleMania 41. Get the likes as you come in. We about to air some dirty laundry on this one. Now, Becky Lynch recently said that she isn't wrestling anymore. She said she didn't rule out a return, but one day, she said she seemed to return, but she said we shouldn't expect her to come back anytime soon, but she did say on her interview, now we know Becky Lynch, we have not seen her. She's been on hiatus since last May. We also know that Becky Lynch has enjoyed free agency and being a mom at home, so we also know that she was just taking time off, giving a break, but it's been almost a year since we last saw her on WWE TV. Now, I heard that she may have re-signed a new contract. I thought personally that she didn't sign one because we have seen on TV, but she did say during her time that she was on stage as a special guest monologuist on the Ultimate Improv Show. She did say a couple things. Now, she said it's WrestleMania season, isn't it? Look, I'm not wrestling anymore. Maybe one day, but not right now. But my husband is, that's what she said, refers to her real life husband, Seth Rollins. Now, the rumor has made Becky Lynch return a big thing since she was featured on Netflix promotion of January's premiere of the show, but she was not. Reportedly she was not really scheduled to be on that show. Now, we also know that Becky Lynch has been on a couple of movie and TV roles with some Star Trek show on Paramount Plus and other stuff like that. I know she also she's just been focusing on doing other projects. She wants to basically take a break from wrestling. But we know at the end of the day, Becky Lynch is a pro wrestler. I do expect to see her soon. I think she will show up at WrestleMania 41. If not at WrestleMania 41, definitely the Raw after WrestleMania 41, which I believe she will show up at. I can't see Becky Lynch being out this long. If she don't show up the Raw after WrestleMania 41, then something's definitely up with her. Definitely not going to be wrestling. What she's saying may be true. I'm not wrestling anymore. If she does come back, it could be at a much, much later date for all we know. But I do remember Becky Lynch, she was not focused on wrestling so much. And she just focusing on being a mom, staying at home, and basically thinking of what's the next career move that she's going to do. So we got to keep that in mind as well. Things have changed for Becky Lynch, and we are in the brand new WWE regime under the Triple H era. So we know that a lot of new talent of women and women that's been there for a while, they're getting pushed now. We got the Rhea Ripleys, we got the Liv Morgans, we have, of course, Bianca, Naomi, Jade Cargill, and and plenty of others as well that's on the scene for the women's division. So Becky Lynch It's pretty much like Bayley, and we can say Charlotte Flair too. They're going to be on the downside of their career. They're going to be putting more over talent like a Tiffany Stratton as well, and other talent. They're not going to be so much in the spotlight anymore. But we can remember her saying this on his interview here on the Ultimate Improv.
It's WrestleMania season, isn't it? You know, look, I'm not wrestling anymore. Maybe one day, but not right now. Oh, thank you very much.
Now, in an interview with Becky Lynch answering a question at the Ultimate Improv, clearly Becky Lynch is messing with the fans. She's toying with us. She's going to be coming back much, much sooner than we think. Like I said, could be WrestleMania, making an appearance, or WrestleMania 41. The Raw after, I would say the biggest Raw after the year. Expect Becky Lynch to show up on Monday Night Raw. Now, it's questionable what brand she really going to be on, because we know nowadays with WWE, the way it's ran by Triple H Creative, they have stars pretty much show up on either show. They could set up the storyline where they could be on either show. They don't have to be tied down to one show for the most part, because Becky Lynch more than likely will be a part-time talent or seasonal talent. I do not see Becky Lynch, whenever she does return to WWE at some point very soon, I don't see her being a full-time talent anymore since she's a mother now. I do see her having a part-time run or seasonal run, similar to what Trish Stratus has done recently and what Nikki Bella is going to be doing very soon. You know, stuff like that. I don't see her being in a spotlight anymore. She doesn't need to be. Becky Lynch is a 7-time women's world champion. She main evented WrestleMania 35. She, was Becky 2 belts. She won the Royal Rumble in her career. She's been at WrestleMania, SummerSlam, plenty of events here in WWE. She's done a lot in her career. There's really nothing else for Becky Lynch to prove, but you could tell her laughing in that interview. She's going to be back. It's not we'll never ever see Becky Lynch for a long, long, long time. We'll see her very, very soon. I don't know who she'll enter a program with, because she's already feuded with Rhea Ripley. She's feuded with Liv Morgan. She's feuded with Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Bianca Belair. If I had to guess, she could feud off maybe against a newer talent like a Tiffany Stratton. Maybe she could also feud off with a new star we already know is Jade Cargill. They had a face-off, when Jade Cargill first arrived in WWE. And we also remember, too, a little nugget here that Jade Cargill did eliminate Becky Lynch in the 2024 Royal Rumble. We got to keep that in mind, too. Maybe that's an opening for her to return. Or maybe Becky Lynch can return to WWE as an ally to Naomi, who's currently feuding with Jade Cargill. It's a lot of stories that could be told with Becky Lynch's return to WWE. But all this Becky Lynch is done with wrestling for good. She's never, ever coming back. I don't believe it. That's the whole speculation. That's the rumor going around. She will be back at some given point very, very sooner than we think. So I don't see that, because Seth Rollins also not too long ago, I think back in February, he mentioned that Becky Lynch will be wrestling again. She's taking a break. She got a wrestling gear. She will be ready to go at some point. And there's also been rumors, too, that Becky Lynch, there's no storyline for her, or she don't agree with creative stuff of some sort. And that could be a thing, too. I do not believe that there's a major storyline for Becky Lynch to appear in at the moment, which is another reason that they let her sit on the sidelines, let her do what she wants to do, which is acting, besides being a mom. That could be a very, very heavy speculation. And I don't think there is a major storyline for her. There's nothing she can do. She's feuded with all the top names, like I said earlier. So at this point with Becky Lynch, whenever she do show up, grace the WWE Universe with her presence, then that'll be a good thing. But I will say this, since Becky Lynch been on hiatus since last May in 2024, I can speak for most of the fans. WWE is not hurting, or we really need Becky Lynch back, because the women's roster is stacked at an all-time high. We got a lot of women on the roster for Raw and SmackDown, not to mention NXT as well, the call-ups that's going to be being called up to the main roster. And, of course, we seeing women and men from NXT showing up on Raw and SmackDown. I mean, for example, Roxanne Perez, who was just the NXT Women's Championship that she lost at the beginning of the year. She just showed up on Friday Night SmackDown in a match against Tiffany Stratton. So we're not in a dire need of Becky Lynch right now. The roster's not hurting. Even the Becky Lynch fans that may not like that, I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. Matter of fact, while we're on the subject, we have a women's wrestler just came back, from having a baby. Her name happened to be Alexa Bliss. And she's not even being shown on TV at all. We saw at the Royal Rumble when she returned, and she had one appearance on SmackDown, and that was pretty much it. So it's just the whole thing, the old era of the women, of the Four Horsemen women era, 2015, 2016, 2017. We really not seeing those women being highlighted anymore. Not just Becky or Charlotte or Bayley. Also Alexa Bliss, all the women of that era is pretty much out of there. They will be used at this point in their career to put over someone in a major feud, upcoming new star, or for a women's championship, whether it's a world championship or a mid-card championship, whatever the case may be. But Becky Lynch, back to her, we're not in a rush to need her. She'll be back. She come back. Me personally, it doesn't even matter to me. She come back sooner or later. I don't care. They don't need her. There's nothing else for her to do unless she comes back with a real distinct brand new gimmick. That's a dark heel character that we never seen before on television. Unless they do something like that of some sort, and that brings keep fans intrigued, want to see more of it. There's really no rush for Becky Lynch to come back to WWE. No rush whatsoever. I mean, for what? What's she going to do? We seen the man. We seen big time Bex. We seen Becky Lynch as a babyface. We seen Becky Lynch as a regular heel. She would have to really step it up, have a very major character shift change, similar to what Naomi's doing right now in WWE. If it's not something, game changing like that for that character and for that individual, we don't need her. And she could continue to take more time off that you need to. There's no reason for that because we have enough women on the roster for that. But hopefully, she come back. Hopefully she, being a good feud, she puts over someone up and coming, and it'll be solid. But other than that, I can see her at WrestleMania. She will be a part of maybe Raw after WrestleMania, maybe Backlash. I don't know. Could be longer than that. Maybe Backlash. But I know the longer we don't see Becky Lynch, the more we don't need her. I know that at the end of the day. The longer she's gone, the longer there's no dire need of needing her. But I know she will show up. Like I said, as far as her contract goes, if she signed one, I don't know how long it's for. I could tell you this. If she did sign a new contract when Seth Rollins re-signed last summer, it's not for a full-time contract. I could tell you that much. It's for a part-time, seasonal, and limited appearances that she will make on television. Whatever show she's on, Raw, SmackDown, I don't care what show she's on, you're not going to see much of Becky Lynch anymore with this new deal because these contracts now I see with the WWE women and men, they're much different than it was in the past. It's not the old traditional Vince McMahon, WWE type of contracts. These contracts are different. It's literally going to be it comes down to storyline, how much they're needed, and Triple H's booking and everything else. If he don't need you, you ain't going to be on a long-term deal. If he needs you, he'll sign to a long-term deal. But other than that, that's all I have regarding with Becky Lynch return to WWE at WrestleMania 41. Is Becky Lynch done with wrestling forever? Is she done with WWE forever? You guys let me know what you think of the whole new scenario with the interview. Check out the content here at Toxic Ring Scandal, a.k.a. KDH. Until then, guys, you already know what it is at this point. It's OUT.